And good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner on Friday the 20th of January, and of course it is Xinyan Kualei. You understand that, Ollie?
No. I have to explain.
Happy New Year in Chinese. It is of course the year of the water rabbit. Silence there.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Well, actually, it's Sunday, but I mean, everyone is wishing it today because everybody's obviously going off on their holiday. But the good news is, Ollie, that the water rabbit is famous for being an early bird and loves the hours between 5 and 7 in the morning. So that suits us because that's us. We're always up around 5 and working till 7. So
well, maybe it's a good year for stockbrokers.
Actually, I didn't read that when I was reading up about the rabbit. But fingers crossed it is. Anyway, we don't need good luck because we're actually doing really rather well. So anyway, there we go. That's another. We don't need to get on there. Come on, let's get quickly back to mining and all that sort of stuff. What do you got for us this morning?
Quick congratulations to Atlantic Lithium for being in the top 50 stocks on the OTC QX last year. I think
well done, Atlantic Lithium. We do like the boys at Atlantic Lithium. In fact, we're looking forward to catching up with all of them, aren't we, down at Indaba. So yeah, well done to them. Good team. Well deserved.
Yeah, indeed. Although the lithium price or the spot price anyway, has pulled back a bit since November and is now back at the levels it was at in sort of August time, where it had plateaued for a good few months before running up to the sort of $80,000 a ton level. It's now back at sort of 68. I think there were some headlines through Q4 about environmental problems in China causing refineries to come offline, and also power shortages at the back end of the summer. So I guess that's now resolving itself, and so that intense supply pressures easing off, but it's still, there's not huge amounts of new mine activity bringing lots of lithium on at the moment. So I think we might see some sort of stabilization around this level again, and that was a bit of a blip from a
you always know, Ollie, when everyone is shouting it's going to the moon, and you see every other Twitter comment is lithium's going up, but probably it's peaked, and we did see that about a few months ago or so. We saw exactly the same, actually. Remember when tin got up to about 50,000, and it came all the way back down to about 20. Well, that's now creeping up about 29 now. But it's always the way with commodities. Always be careful not to get sucked in when everyone's shouting it's going to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. But I think with things opening up again, it should get some support from industry, like things like tin are at the moment. They're bouncing from lows, whereas lithium's peculiar in that it had particular issues affecting it that meant it was an outlier last year.
Yeah. Okay. Any news?
Full year production results from Ariana Resources. They produced 28,421 ounces during the year, so they exceeded their production guidance by about 14%, as they pushed a lot of ore through the mill, exceeding their 400,000 ton target. So impressive performance there, and record revenues off the back of that of $58 million US. And we're looking forward to further strong performance next year. And they have got a small silver credit, but not a big one. But if prices go higher, then that could become more important.
Okay.
but it's a nice stock that follows the gold price pretty well, and with solid operational performance and the low cash cost they've got, sort of 650 at the last count. It's a pretty solid junior miner.
Look, I tell you what, I like gold a lot. I mean, my 4 commodities for this year are actually gold, silver, copper, and tin. Gold this morning trading at 1930. It's pretty strong. If we could just break through that 2000, it'd be very exciting.
Yeah, certainly. And actually, I picked up something on the silver market that had actually been announced in China just before the end of last year, but to encourage use of silver and to make it easier for the end users to get hold of physical silver, the Shanghai Gold Exchange has waived all fees on delivery, contract insurance, registration fees for members, clearing fees, and they've extended that for the whole of 2023. And I would suspect that that's in part because they need it for the solar industry, but there's a real push there to get hold of physical silver and make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole big argument of why silver could go absolutely shooting up this year, is that the solar industry is going to, want a better word, double layers. And so the demand for silver will, well, theoretically double. I think at the moment solar takes about, correct me if I'm wrong, Ollie, but about 12% of all the silver that's produced.
Yeah.
So you double that, that's 24%, and there just isn't enough silver to supply that, which is why the price could absolutely rocket. Now, there are people going around saying you can replace that silver with copper, but I'm not sure it's quite as easy as that. And that is one of the reasons, yes, why we are very bullish silver. And of course, one of the things to remember about silver is often a byproduct of other mining activities. There aren't that many pure silver mines, so to speak. And therefore, if silver does do what we're thinking, the silver mines clearly are going to have an incredible run.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think technically possible to substitute fairly easily, but in the same breath, it's not necessarily that easy to get hold of the substitute metals either.
That's true, yeah. All right. That'll probably do for Friday, won't it, Ollie?
Yeah, I think so. There wasn't too much other news out this morning.
Very good. Have a good weekend. Anybody listening, have a good weekend. Don't get too cold. Wrap up warm, but it's going to be nice and sunny too. The good news is it doesn't look as though it's going to rain for about another fortnight, so we can all stay dry. And we'll speak again next week.
Yeah. Cheers, Andrew. Have a good weekend.